They do a lot.
Then they're everything, to do with what you do.
They pretty much have everything. They kind of are the control center of your other glands. He sees an endocrinologist over that. He's just,
See, if they made doctors responsible for a side effect, they'd be a little more careful what they're prescribing, I think.
well, their thing is if they cure you of cancer, the rest of it is just,
Well, you
Oh,
see
well,
all these
you know.
TV commercials where they have all these medications and they guarantee that they work. Well, if they guarantee it works, then your doctor ought to prescribe that for you. But they don't. Most of them, there's some that I know the doctor prescribes.
That's what I said a few weeks ago, a month ago, whenever it was. Big Pharma is not in business for curing anything.
Make it
I'm
work.
sorry, that's just,
they just
Believe in the doctors, I don't.
Wanna
think they
treat
won't
it.
cure you either.
They want to come back and get the money.
They want to treat it, they want to take away make it stop hurting or make it stop doing whatever, even though you're still sick.
It all comes down to they don't care about us.
No.
None of them.
They want
We
the
care.
money.
Yes, they don't care about us, they don't care if we get healed or anything. They
They-
all into themselves.
They
You
want
wanna call
everybody
James?
to
Call
have
James?
insurance so they can sell
I don't have
the
insurance.
insurance.
I don't,
Like Cindy takes she has a Crohn's disease. She takes one of those little pin shots every 2 weeks. Every shot is $3,500.
Oh, my God.
$7,000 a month for her to take that, those 2 shots. And the insurance pays for it. Last year, her medication bill was like $145,000.
For heaven's sake. She has Crohn's.
Crohn's disease plus a whole bunch of other.
We're ready to start here.
Okay, thank you very much for calling me.
Okay.
hi Janice.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, everybody.
We're ready.
Okay. All right, let's get,
We've solved all the world's problems now. We're going to study chapter 16 in Genesis.
Yes, I did.
oh, okay. All right, let's go to the Lord in prayer and then we'll get started. Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for your word. We pray, Lord, that you'll open up the scriptures to us tonight. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Okay. All right, chapter 16. Now Sarah, I guess it's called Sarai. Abram's wife had born him no children. She had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. Hagar means flee or to flee. And she either fled Egypt to Abraham's camp or Pharaoh gave her along with a lot of his other oxen and sheep and stuff when Abraham was sent to Egypt. Yeah. So Sarah said to Abram, now, behold, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. And I did a little study on how many women were barren. Including Sarah, there were 7. Anybody care to guess? You don't care to guess?
Do what?
How many women were barren and then the Lord rebirthed?
44.
There's probably more than 7.
Well,
Might be. I counted 7, but I know of.
well, if Hagar was an Egyptian, they didn't believe in God, did they? They had their own God, some of ours. So, but she's referencing God there. God was something.
Well, okay, including Sarah, there was Rebecca. She was barren. Rachel was barren, but God reversed all. Manoah's wife. Everybody knows who Manoah is. Manoah?
That's what Noah's mom called him.
Manoah.
Manoah, yeah, Manoah.
Tell this to him.
Hey,
You got jokes. No, he's got jokes.
makes sense.
go by nothing, no kidding, no kidding. 15 years, nothing. So. Sarah, okay, how many of you ever tried to help God out?
Help God out?
Yeah.
I don't think God would ever please me.
Not
Just
like
think
that,
I could
not
do
like
that.
Oh, I know.
Well, that's what
No,
Sarah
I mean,
did.
if you're waiting for
That's what I say, not like Sarah did.
an answer
Yeah.
to prayer and you think, well, if I do this, it will, this will happen, da, da, da. So you're trying to figure out how God's going to do it.
I've made a lot of mistakes,
Well,
but it wasn't that I was just trying to help God. I was trying to help me. You know, I didn't, it took me a long time to realize that God was on my side,
yeah,
you
well,
know.
yeah. Sometimes when you're waiting on God, I mean, His timing is not the same as ours.
Right?
So sometimes we run on ahead and try to get to it and take a shortcut. Sometimes the shortcut is a lot worse than the long run.
We try to apply our reasoning.
God makes a lot of promises for us. And
Yeah.
sometimes you wonder why, if he made this promise, and you pray for it, it doesn't come about. Why? Or is it God in his time, but still, he died for that promises. Comes to fruition.
That's what I pray for my kids, that they walk through the doors that God opens, but don't worry about the doors that he closes.
That's what I said. Sometimes God works that we never say. Because it's in His own time. And Sarah got tired of waiting. 17 years, 20 years.
So she was 99, wasn't it? Was she 99?
No, she was 80.
80.
Well, she was like 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
When she had to Hagar.
Well, see, yeah, the custom of the people at that time is if the wife could not have children, they would take a servant born in their house to be the heir, because that the property would remain in that line. That was important. So that was her idea here. So
I didn't know that.
she gave, okay. When the Israelites came out of Egypt, it was only 10 days to the promised land. But he didn't take them that way. He took them a long way. Because they've been slaves. They've been slaves for 400 years, so he had to get,
That wasn't Hagar.
no, Moses. But I'm talking about the
He's
Israelites.
talking about Moses when they came out of Egypt.
It wasn't that far, but God had to get Egypt out of them because they've been slaves and they have a slave mentality. And if they went that way, it would have been panicked by the soldiers and stuff. They had a garrison over there. So, but he had a lot to teach them if they would have learned. But they didn't learn. They rebelled. And you know, he was there with a pillar of fire and a cloud by day. And
Big
yet,
rock.
and yet they still,
Like,
But that was 400.
they built an idol.
it's an illustration, don't get
After
technical.
that, why were we talking about him and Abram? That was 430 years before.
I'm talking about God's timing. Oh my gosh.
You went from Abraham to Moses and then.
I'm backtrack.
Oh, my God. Oh, that was funny.
Anyway, before I go there,
I need to giggle.
this roundabout route, he had to instill in them trust, that they had to trust him. And they did for a while, and then they backfired. So, the next generation was the generation of warriors. When that last one died, then they were ready to go to the promised land. Okay. Back to Abraham.
It was because God held them back and said, this generation is gonna die before I show you the promised land
That was 40
because
years.
of your sin.
Yeah, it's 40 years, but they could have been in there in a lot less,
Oh, yeah, 15
a few
days.
months, yeah, but,
Murmuring and complaining.
But they only trusted in God when he did something for them. But then when things
They
didn't go good,
backslid
then they
constantly.
turned
They were
around.
constantly in a backslidden state.
okay. Waiting on God requires faith and patience. Now, you can have a lot of faith and no patience. You can have a lot of patience and little faith. That ain't gonna work out either. You need both. Because faith requires patience sometimes to see the answer or the promise fulfilled. Okay, so what did Sarah do? She said, now behold, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. You go into my maid, perhaps I shall obtain children through her. Okay, so Abraham listened to the voice of Sarah. Okay, this elevated Hagar's status to concubine or even wife. So,
And look over. Sound like awful.
Yeah, she got the big head,
so,
started mistreating Sarah.
I think a lot of people suffer because they don't wait on the Lord. And waiting on his perfect time. Okay, there was a girl at Bible school. She felt the Lord was calling her to some state. I don't know.
The what?
To some state.
Okay.
To, I don't know what.
State of confusion. Confusion.
Could be. But, we said, well, I think you better pray about this, and, see God. No, you got all our stuff together, and you got the car and took off. And we're going, you don't do it. She got as far as the state line and had a wreck. She came back and she didn't have a car again. So, and God, some missionaries like that, they'll just take off without any preparation. And they'll suffer for it. So, waiting on the Lord is not just an option. It's something you better make sure you're hearing the voice of God first. My old pastor used to say, some were called, some were sent, some just got up and went.
I like that.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Okay, Abram, I think is a type, in my mind, it's a type or a picture of sanctification. It goes from a believer or maybe a moderate believer to somewhat a strong faith. So that's how we should be in our Christian walk. We should go to the starting point, and then we should, even if we stumble and stuff, we're still going forward. But as far as being a non-believer, I don't think he was, because he was a descendant of Noah and Shem, who are, by the way, still alive at this time. They lived in the same area. So why wouldn't they have contact with each other? They're on the same thing of mind. So I'm thinking, and Abraham lived 39 years into Noah. Noah lived 39 years into Abraham's life. Shem outlived Abraham. So I'm sure they had some intercourse. I mean, somebody was that old and survived the flood, I'd be interested in talking to them, you know?
We don't know that they didn't.
Yeah.
I think they did. There was always a godly line before the flood, and I think after the flood. And I don't think Abram was a pagan. Because in the line it says, the God of Abraham, Nahor, and what's the other brother? Haran?
Aaron,
Aaron, whatever.
Aaron,
So,
He was a pagan before God got hold of him.
well,
I mean, he didn't end up being. a
no,
pagan,
but I mean,
he was
I think they were taught,
well, Noah wasn't a pagan, right?
but his descendants, I mean, I think they all taught their descendants.
Didn't we just go through him, God bringing Abraham out and his cousin and all of those people out at the same time? Or did we just-
Well, they lived in the midst of pagans, but I don't mean that they were unbelievers.
But he acted shocked that God would talk to him because of what he'd been
It
doing.
didn't
That's what
it didn't say he was shocked.
Right. That's when it doesn't say shocked, which he said, he was surprised that God,
Well, if he was
Brought
the
him
God,
out.
if it was the God of Abraham's father, then Abraham's God too.
well, no. But it's just all those other people that Abraham was dealing with, they didn't know anything about. At
Yeah.
that time, God got a hold of it, that's what I'll say. They were living in a pagan world. But no, he wasn't a pagan when he got finished.
Well, Abram probably had a bunch of servants that were pagan.
Well, yeah, but Abraham himself fellowship with Noah and Shem.
They and they were still alive, you know. They probably,
That chart over there should,
Their children were
Shem outlives Abraham. So, and then Jewish myth or legend that says that Shem was Melchizedek.
Abraham lived
But I don't see any evidence of that.
120 years.
140, I think. Sarah did that.
Moses, 120.
So, he was like 75, he was like a midpoint in his life.
Melchizedek, I believe, was a Christoph.
I think.
Well, yeah, I was just looking in the back, Abraham went very far back with God, Abram at the time. I mean, he knew Melchizedek, he met him,
I'm sure he had contact with Shem and Noah, you know.
Terah was Abram's father, right?
Yeah.
Well, who? T-E-R-A.
Nahor was Terah's father, and then Terah had Nahor.
Right.
Abram,
Who was Terah's father?
Nahor. There's two Nahors mentioned. Two. One was Nahor's father, and then, Terah's father, and then
Abram was Terah's son,
Yeah.
who was Abram's grandfather then.
Nahor. And then Terah named his three sons, Abraham, Nahor, and what I said?
Well, there were two.
Haran. So
Haran.
there's two Nahors. All right. Got that?
Nahor 1 and Nahor 2.
Okay. Nahor Jr.
First and second. Everybody like you.
Me either. That's why I named my son the way I did.
Yeah, my
What'd you name him?
father-in-law.
Kelly Dwayne Bales the second.
Oh, when my father-in-law first saw Hiawatha, you know, his name was Hiawatha. Kelly, mine Hiawatha girl. He said, Junior, and I said, don't ever call him Junior.
Okay, so Abraham went from faith to faith, Romans 4:17. And I think the more you saw God work and answer prayer, the stronger his faith became. So that Jim,
I didn't see anything.
I didn't feel that.
so I lost my track. Hey, Yeah. Faith comes from hearing, and hearing the word of God. And also, I think, when you see answered prayers, that builds your
Yeah.
faith up too. In the next chapter, God appears to him, and like it's been, what, 25 years since you first said you don't have a son. And he changed his name to Abraham. Instead of exalted father, now it's father of many.
A multitude.
Yeah. So now he changed his confession. When Abraham said, I am the father of multitudes. Where's your kids? They're on the way. But, yeah. And it's a principle. You're never going to rise above your confession. If you confess doubt and unbelief, just saying, I can do all things through Christ. And your attitude through trials and stuff determines your outcome. I think kids that grow up in a family that put the kid down all the time, so you can't do nothing, you're worthless and stuff. And the kid starts believing that and actually comes to. But if you're reinforcing positive values and stuff, and success, there'll be success. The Jews put a premium on success and prosperity. Remember, have you ever seen Fiddler on the Roof? Okay, our Western thought is poverty is spiritual. And he told the guy, oh, poverty, prosperity is a curse. He goes, Lord, strike me with this curse.
Curse me, Lord.
Yeah. So, that's why the Jews rise to the top in every nation they were in, because they believed God wanted them to succeed. And they were, and they raised kids that way. You know. St. Francis of Assisi, it was said that he went in the square, public square, closed up and let married ladies bought poverty, which that is the extreme departure from the truth. Because God loves, it's like, wouldn't you want your kid to be successful? Make a lot of money, God loves him. He's not any different than us in that respect. And Western thought is poverty is spiritual. Prosperity is not spiritual. It depends on your attitude. If money has you, yeah. If you got money, it's fine. But if money has you, it's not going to be good.
Money.
The love of money, all sorts of people, not these sorts. There's crimes and stuff that has nothing to do with money. Okay, you say the same there. She had no machine, but it wasn't that important. We went from my princess to the princess. But it says she went from barren to blessing, from fear to faith. And when she heard Abraham talking with the Lord, he said, "This time, this season next year, Sarah will have a son," and he called him Isaac. She laughed. And the Lord said, "What, Sarah laughed?" I didn't laugh. Yes, you did. So when she became pregnant, I think things kind of crystallized. And as far as her faith is concerned, because she was past childbearing age. And it was a promise made, a promise kept. And when you get an answer to prayer, I think that's a lot to respect.
Mm-hmm.
so now that she's pregnant, you got a problem. You got a competitor now instead of a maid. So, what'd she do? She blamed Abraham. I mean, it didn't take much for Abraham to say, okay. And he read about it, Hebrew. Especially if Hagar was, a 10. So, he went into Hagar and she conceived. She saw that she conceived, her mistress was despised in her sight. And Sarah said to Abram, may the wrong done to me be upon you. I gave my maid into your arms, but when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her sight. May the Lord judge between you and me. You never, nobody here has ever blamed anybody else for their messes, have you? No? Innocent as a little lamb.
No, I do, but.
Well, I can tell you right now,
So here,
it's always the mother's fault.
Not this time.
It's always the mother. I'm telling you, it's always the mother.
If a tree falls in the forest,
That's the way the psychiatrist is
It's not
telling
like
you,
it.
everybody.
if a tree falls in the forest and no one
You
around
had a
here,
terrible mother, that's why you act the way you do.
if a tree falls in the forest and no one here, is it still a man's fault? Well, she said, it's your fault. I mean, you shouldn't have listened to me. So, yeah, so,
Well, when we get to verse 11, and between 11 and 13, that explains everything that's going on today.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I had a brother-in-law.
You have a son, you call him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers.
Okay.
And that's the way they are today. They can't even get along with each other.
you can give them billions of dollars, they just won't go.
Oh, yeah, and we're stupid because we just enable them all over the place. And this is the way they are today. They don't even get along with each other. And
Okay,
when they went into the promised land, God told them, kill them all. And they didn't do it.
Believe it or not.
They did
even
not
the
do it.
women
So
there.
now
And-
we are, but however, when you read the rest of the prophecy, you see that was already told that it would happen that way, and that we would be dealing with those people till eternity comes. And we still are.
okay, back in here. Okay, I had a
We're
brother-in-law.
going around the bend.
I had this brother-in-law. I'm not finished this story yet.
Sorry.
Well,
Well, you keep interrupting while I'm butting in,
You got kinfolk that married?
Okay, my sister married Jay. Okay. Some on around the pool, so they were working on it. He was working on it. And pretty soon, and he did something. I can't believe I messed that up. And later on, he says, I can't believe we messed that up. And then later on, he goes, I can't believe you messed that up. Thought the subtle shift in the blame. But that's human nature.
You got somebody to blame.
Like
Yeah.
the woman got it.
yeah, it was, or it was my mother.
Lord, you gave me that
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born.
Huh?
That's my problem. Yeah, I was born.
That's, yeah.
That's where you went wrong. All right, where we at? Okay, Abrams, verse 6. said to Sarah, behold, the maid is in your power. Actually, back then she was her property. Any son born would be her property too, which, that was her custom, they would raise their own heir. Anyway, so she was demoted back to a maid, and Sarah treated her harshly, and she fled from her presence. Now, they're out in the wilderness, where's she gonna go?
Away from Sarah.
Yeah. But,
Or the green grass strip.
like, when the going gets tough, you run away. And that's the attitude of people today, so. No, if things get hard, no, quit.
Mom always told us when the going gets tough, the tough
Get
gets
going,
going.
yeah.
She didn't say which way.
Where should I go? Oh, here.
Yeah, today, I mean, I knew this one girl, she started working at Brahms, and she finished what she does, she's leaning against the counter, and the supervisor came over and jumped all over her, and she just walked out.
I don't
Who?
care.
Who is this?
Someone I know.
Okay.
You're supposed to be busy all the time.
Just, if there's nothing to do, just sweep the floor or wash the counter.
Yeah.
Wash it again,
Well,
and
she
then
got-
wash it again.
She
and-
got upset and just quit. So I thought, you ain't gonna get a job, keep a job like that.
Oh,
But she finally straightened out, and she's doing all right now.
I was right opposite. When I ran, I had 50 men working for me. When they finished the job, if they sat down and rested till I gave them another, that was all right. If I could give them a job that they could do in 2 hours, and they did it in an hour, they ought to be able to rest for another hour.
This generation now, if it doesn't work, we'll try something else.
Can't do that now, that's why you.
Okay, so. Now the angel of the Lord found her by the spring of water, spring of water in the wilderness. By a spring of water in the wilderness, by a spring on the way to Shur. Okay, this is the first appearance of the angel of the Lord, which, a theophany or better, Christophany, the appearance of Christ in the Old Testament.
Before it was always God appeared to Abram. Now the angel has appeared.
Well, actually, let's see. In Judges 2:1, turn over there real quick. Joshua, do you have the truth?
Jacob, Rachel.
Judges 2:1. Now the angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochim. He said, I brought you up out of Egypt and led you into the land which I've sworn to your father. Go with the angel of the Lord. I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And it goes on down here. But the reaction of people when they see the angel of the Lord is like, where's it at? In verse 13. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her. You are a God who sees, what she said. Have I even remained alive after seeing him? So they equated the angel of the Lord with God.
Yeah.
That Christ is the mediator between God and man.
Most of the angels would say, stand up, I'm not God.
Yeah. But the angel of the Lord
I'm
accepted,
just a messenger.
the angel of the Lord accepted worship. But he disappeared when Christ becomes incarnate in the New Testament. And the response was, every time, we're gonna die. Best friend, he was always, right, he used to get something wrong, you're gonna die. Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So the angel said, where did you come from and where are you going? He's like, he didn't know. She said, I'm fleeing from the presence of my sorry. Then the angel of the Lord, then the angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit yourself to her authority. Moreover, the angel of the Lord said to her, I will greatly multiply your descendants so that they shall be too many to count. And then, here's what you read a while ago. The angel of the Lord said to her brothers, behold, you are with child, and you shall bear a son, and you shall call his name Ishmael. Because the Lord has given him conviction. He will be a wild donkey of a man, his hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live to the east of all his brothers. So,
Yours says east,
Mine says in the presence of,
mine says, you will dwell in the presence of his brethren. Where did east come from?
Mine says the face, and he will dwell in the face of all
See,
of them.
Mine's New King James, but where would east, that's why I don't understand the new
East
translation.
of Egypt, and
what is that, the
The
NIV?
translation,
Don't you say?
no, I've
NIV,
got New American Standard here.
American Standard.
that's why I have problems with the English. Cause
No,
You
this
need
is
a whole
just
Bible.
King James. The Holy One, right?
is yours New King James, Kelly?
I've got,
What's it, which
well,
verse
that
are
one
we
was just
talking
regular
about?
King James.
In, verse 12, and, Ron's Bible says east, and that's the first time I ever heard east in this.
Mhm.
What? East,
You will live to the, no, I can't look it up.
verse 12?
This says east.
That says
That's
east.
it, to the twelve.
He will live to the east of all his brothers, which he did. He went and he,
We never had any geography
Mine
lessons so
doesn't have
far.
any kind of direction in
It
it
just
at all.
Yeah, it just says
So
dwell
does
in the
east
presence
mean
of his
something
brother.
else than direction, it means east, I mean, he.
Are we
So
first,
they,
chapter 16?
Yeah,
Sixteen.
well,
Genesis
well, so
16.
they,
Edom and Seir, it was east.
I see what you're saying, but I don't like it.
Mine said,
Well, that's what I
It's
mean.
not your fault, Ron, it's who translated the Bible, they knew it was east.
my
They
verse
put east
12
in there.
says, he will be a wild donkey of a man, his hand will be
Yeah.
against everyone, and everyone's hand against
Yeah.
him. And he will live in hostility toward all his brothers.
Yes.
mine says, and he will dwell in the face of all his brothers, so he's.
He will dwell over against all his kinsmen.
Over against, yeah.
On this one, this is, ESV.
I have an ESV, but it's at home. This is NIV.
You'd be a
So
terrible
your Bible
person.
changed it to east because that was the actual geographical, when it
Yeah.
should have been,
Well, I can tell you, but I
right, I got
can't
you,
use my phone.
okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
That's all right. Somewhere else.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it was.
It does.
it says,
Against
therefore,
all his kinsmen.
the well was called Beer La Hai Roy. Beer, free beer for everyone.
Galatians has a good,
I don't.
Galatians has a good, chapter, 4, verses 21 to 31 has a good,
Go ahead and read it.
huh?
Go ahead and read it.
Read it. Tell me, you who want to be under the law, are you not aware of what the law says? For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, one by the slave woman and the other by the free woman. His son by the slave woman was born in the ordinary way, but his son by the free woman was born as a result of a promise. These things may be taken figuratively, for the women represent 2 covenants. One covenant is from Mount Sinai and bears children who are to be slaves. That is, slaves to the law, right?
Right.
That's what it's talking about, the law. This is Hagar. Now because she is in slavery with her children, but the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother. For it is written, be glad, O barren woman who bears no children, break forth and cry aloud, you who have no labor pains, because more are the children of the desolate woman than of her who has a husband. So when they talk about being slaves, they're talking about the religion of Muslim. They're slaves to that religion. Think about how they're in slavery, absolutely. Now you brothers, like Isaac, are children of promise. At that time the son was born in the ordinary way, persecuted the son born by the power of the Spirit. It is the same now, but what does the scripture say? Get rid of the slave woman and her son, for the slave woman's son will never share in the inheritance with the free woman's son. Never. Therefore, brothers, we are not children of the slave woman, but of the free woman. So we follow, as Christians, this is Galatians, New Testament, Paul is speaking. We follow the promised son as Christians, as followers of Christ. But the followers of the slave woman, Ishmael, the son of the slave woman, his descendants are in slavery still. She was a slave, and all of her descendants are still slaves.
You can sum it up as faith versus work. They believe in working their way to heaven.
Right. And they'll never make it.
We can't, we don't,
They'll never be good enough.
we go by faith. And
Right.
God's grace. There's no, and now, Seventh-day Adventist believes faith plus works.
Right.
So,
Works
if
is,
you can't have, faith, saved by grace through faith. You can't work for it, it's the free gift of God. So, they are hard to, again.
well, it's hard for a person, it's hard for people to understand that they don't have to do anything to gain God's favor. Man is always trying to find a way that he has to be.
The work himself.
Yeah.
Can't do.
And that was the problem that we had with the previous pastor. He was a works guy.
Everything had to be heard.
Right. He even tried to tell us how to dress.
Yeah, you
Yes.
couldn't wear jeans and.
But I wore them anyway. Did you notice I never take a church in anything but jeans?
You're just a rebel.
I'm that way. I'm a donkey.
I am as good as I am.
That's right. And I was raised to believe that as long as you're clean and modest, God, that's all God cares about. Clean and modest.
You wouldn't like Africans because they don't wear suits over there.
Clean and
Some of them
modest.
don't wear hardly anything.
Well, he was a donkey, I think.
Anyway, let's finish up here.
He probably more.
So in Galatians, Paul explains exactly what went on there.
And if you look at the history of the Arab nations, like I said, if they didn't have Israel, they'd fight them.
Oh, yeah, they would fight. But what this is two brothers still fighting. They're still brothers. Half brothers, they have the same father. And they're still at war with one another.
And we know who
But
they
the word says, they will never partake of the promise. Once in a while you hear about one, you hear about more and more of them that are being saved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can.
It
They
is,
have the same
well, yeah,
opportunity
God says
anyway.
it's his,
If they continue in their false beliefs, they won't make it.
no.
But they can get saved. There's been many, many
Jesus
testimonies of
is
people
appearing to them
in
in
their dreams.
dreams And a lot of them, are,
Lots of,
yeah,
But it's a nation itself.
right,
They're listed in Ezekiel 38, the Confederacy, headed by Russia.
the false,
And actually, Persia is one of the nations.
Yeah.
But right now, they're experiencing revival over there. So, I think if the rapture happens, they'll be taken, a lot of the population will be taken out. And they will realign with Russia. Because it says he's gonna come against the land of unwalled villages, which means land of peace. Which, they got a chance at peace right now. By taking the
we got a council of peace right now. That's what they call themselves, they're the council of peace.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
And,
Didn't
you know,
know.
the Bible says the whole world will be in peace, and then comes the destruction. Out of the blue, just gonna start happening.
We're safe for a minute or two. We're safe for a minute or two.
For a minute or
I don't
two,
see
yes.
anything that's peaceful yet.
Yeah,
Thompson,
short while,
Thompson,
Even so, come quickly.
even so, Lord.
Okay.
says,
In verse 16, Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to him. 86.
when he had Ishmael.
he was 99 when
And
Mhm.
he had
Isaac?
Yeah, he was practically grown by the time
she was,
I
I think she
was.
was 80. She must have been a really good looking woman because Abimelech took her. And he did the same thing he did to Pharaoh. Say you're my sister.
Yeah, if it worked the first time, maybe it'll work the second time.
But she was 80 years old. I mean, come on.
But think about it, I think that's why God closed her womb.
What?
So she wouldn't have all these kids from other people.
Well, they didn't touch her. I mean, God appeared to Abimelech in a dream said, you're a dead man.
God had it all worked out.
He goes, hey, not my fault. Good.
I think we've gone into vain babbling.
Yeah.
So are we gonna be in 17?
How many people do you think was mentioned in the Bible before they were born?
Were there what?
Every one of them,
Everyone.
every one.
No.
Yeah.
He told Jeremiah, but he knew it
How many
before.
people were mentioned that years before they were ever?
Oh,
I don't know.
How many what?
Isaac was one.
mhm.
There's 7.
How many what? What did you
People
say?
were prophesied or named before they were born.
Jesus was one.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Isaac,
Moses.
no.
Somebody had it.
Noah.
There's a king, David's king.
David?
David.
No,
Hezekiah.
no.
Saul?
You're close.
Jeremiah.
You're close.
Saul.
Back up.
Manasseh.
Josiah.
Josiah.
One.
Well,
Solomon.
I,
Solomon was the Lord named Solomon before his time. And a pagan king.
Nebuchadnezzar.
No. You're close.
Sennacherib.
No, no.
Chad.
Sennacherib?
Sennacherib. Alexander the Great.
No.
Okay.
Persian.
Assyrian. A Persian. Okay, I don't know Persian.
Cyrus.
Cyrus. I didn't know that. But now I know.
One more in the New Testament.
What was he? A king?
No,
Jeremiah.
no. In the New Testament.
What's the question? I didn't hear you.
Who was named before they were born?
Oh,
Give it up, Ron.
Joseph.
this,
Joseph.
Before they were
you already
born.
said
No.
Jesus, right?
Jesus was.
Jesus
the Baptist?
Jesus, Anthony.
What did he say, Jesus' cousin?
Jesus, cousin.
John the Baptist was his cousin.
I already said John the Baptist, didn't I?
I didn't hear you.
I said John the Baptist. When you said it was his cousin, I said John the Baptist.
I didn't hear you.
When I was listening to
He
him.
said that.
Yeah, you were.
Okay, there's that.
He
I heard
testifies,
you say it.
I said it.
Okay, I believe it.
I could skip probably on the good remember.
But we have about 2 witnesses. And there isn't 2 here. Okay, so I guess we're done here.
Thought I'd pray and apologize to Janice.
Yeah, oh, she probably, Janice, are you still there? That's what I figured. She said, this is going nowhere.
So,
This is a waste of
Says
time.
your phone went
He
dead.
says, I'm not staying for this.
Yeah,
I guess the cat.
Janice, are you there?
Cat still alive?
my cat,
Yeah.
oh, they took her to the vet.
She's still on. She's still on.
It was she
Went for a
was bit by a flea that apparently had some bacteria thing. And he took her blood and tested her, and he could not believe that she was as old as she was because her blood work said she was a extremely healthy cat. Her blood work was perfect.
Bell Wilson?
18,
18?
yeah, my cat, yeah.
How much is that dog?
No cat ought to live that
How
long.
much is that dog here?
I have no idea how much that. Anyway, she's 18 years old, and she started losing all of her fur. And she was flea bit by a flea that had something, he named it, I don't know
Oh,
what.
good Lord, they know all that?
Well, yeah, he said that, well, all in the summertime, we put that stuff on her neck, you know, and he said that stuff does not work anymore, that fleas have,
Okay.
become immune to it. You know, the same way bacteria has become immune to a lot of antibiotics. They've evolved past this stuff. You have to get this other stuff, and he named what it was, and so we're going to get it. Anyway, now she's on steroids, and,
She's
he
probably,
gave her a shot of something, I don't know what it was. So we have to get
she's
you.
probably there, and she's probably wanting to die. I mean, keep it
No, she's just fine now. He said she's a very healthy cat.
She goes in and out,
Well, one of my dogs, one of my 9 dogs, the other 8 were just healthy and big, and weighed 65, 70 pounds at this point. Female, her ribs showed, she had bony hips, and just couldn't probably weigh 40 pounds, so I took her to the vet. And they tested for heartworm, she was all right, no heartworm. He
And
said-
yeah, Chloe tested negative for every kind of worm they tested her for.
He said she had a tick disease, and I thought maybe it was that, what is
Well,
it?
he said a flea,
West Nile Lyme disease.
Lyme,
But
yeah.
she said, no, it's called Ehrlich tick. I've never heard of it. But she gave me some little
it
pills.
makes you sick.
Yeah,
That
but
vet,
she ate good too, she ate as much as the
so
other
does
dog.
Chloe. Chloe eats.
Janice, are you there?
And still, just
And that vet said that.
I think we're done. I'll take a picture of the,
That vet said,
I'll go ahead and take a picture of your
that
prayer.
fleas now are so immune to most of the stuff that we put on animals.
Okay, bye-bye.
Get them. I just haven't phrase that all my son and my grandson arrived home safely. I had people coming from each end of the country.
But your son's already gone, right?
My son is already here, and so is my grandson.
But your son left there, right?
No, he went to,
South of Jones.
yeah, but he went to Texas with a friend. I think they're fishing. Yeah, they're probably fishing down there already.
yeah, it's warm enough.
And anyway, so he's gonna come back, and then when he's gonna leave again, from my house Saturday. He's gonna go back to Georgia.
Oh,
You already took a picture?
I'll take this and I'll take that one.
So I just had to pray that they got here safely and everything, they're fine. And little Jeff, he's not going back until, probably the end of the month, he said.
He's a sweet boy.
He's a good boy, and, Calvin is too. He's just a little, he's the middle. You know, the middle kid always seems to have, he's not the baby, and he's not the oldest.
I think he's into the ladies.
Huh?
I think he's into the ladies.
Yeah, he is. And the girls like him too. They're all 24/7. They do Jeff too. And my son Jeff, one time we were in bed and at 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone rang. And it was some girl from Big Jeff. And she said, "Is Jeff there?" And I said, "Honey, he is upstairs asleep. Do you realize what time it is?" And she said, "Oh, well, don't give your, why?"
You got three up there. I didn't want to drop
So
that
the
out.
next morning, Jeff got up before.
She probably said, don't get your panties in a bunch.
Yeah, he did say that. She did say that.
Good
But anyway, I
last
told
drop.
Jeff, I said, "Jeff, you know, you got to go home." At 3 o'clock. I said,
3 o'clock.
"She's not for you." And he said, "How do you know, Mom?" I said, "Because she's stupid." He said, "Well, how do you know she's stupid?" I said, "Because anybody that doesn't know that you don't take off Mama is stupid." And I think
And you
I
don't
said,
call at 3 in the
"And
morning.
stupido."
You know, call
She's
3
too
in the morning.
stupid for you. If she doesn't know any better than to get me mad, then she's too stupid for you.
I agree. He's stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's stupid.
So he said, he kind of giggled and off he went, so I often wondered who she was and what he told her.
How often did, Earl tell you that the urinal down there, the water's off to it?
What?
The urinal down at the other
Oh,
bathroom
yeah.
is off. And the other thing is, that building out there, you know, the key's been lost since the pastor left.
We never did get a key for that.
We ain't found it.
Wait, the lock needs to be changed. And,
Yeah, you need to, if he's still got the dadgum key, we need to get a new lock.
Well, I didn't tell anybody, maybe Earl, but it might be at Mom's desk, because that was his desk, but I never said anything to anybody else.
We made bolt cutters.
I have.
Just so.
It's got a handle. Put the key in there,
He said you gotta have,
You're gonna have to take the whole business
Yeah.
off.
Put that the whole
Yeah, it's
door
got
off.
one of those key handles on it, but the keyhole is right in the center of it,
Yeah.
and
You have to drill it out. You have to
Hinges,
drill it out.
hinges on the outside.
Yep, got a hinge on the outside.
Take those hinges off.
Put another lock on it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Take the hinges off. That'll probably
Well,
work.
my question was, I wanted to get in there because I want to sit some of those chairs, which they will fit in there. And
You
then,
can get one of those keys.
Ken also told me that he suspected that there's books that were in the library that got left out there. That he wasn't sure.
Yeah, he moved our books. Remember he took over made a bookstore out of our
So I was
library.
wondering if those books were in there, I could look back. If I could get in.
I don't know what's in it. Like I said, it's when that key
We
over.
just need to drill it out and then I guess.
yeah, we can get in it.
So I can get in it, even with.
Up to the door, or handle
Those
it.
door handling things, they can't cost much.
Take a song off.
We can do it Saturday, but
Yep.
it's only warm. It's gonna be hot.
Just bring it to.
My car. Jack wrench and whatever.
Well, I had one more question. I asked Earl, I said, who here knows how to use the machine for the floor, the board machine? And Earl said he didn't think anybody did.
Well, Don knows,
You mean
and
the-
he's
the
coming.
polisher?
Hey,
They're
that's
coming.
Put
what
it
the
in
boy
work,
wants.
comes down here.
Huh?
You don't put it in work when you get.
Well, just tell her how to work it.
You just plug it in and
Yeah.
take off with it.
You would think, I could watch a YouTube video and Earl's like, I don't know, Shelley, you might need help. And I said, I think I can do it. And he said, I think you might need help. I said, okay.
You raise up the handle to go this way and pull it
Yeah.
down to go that way.
And you better hold on to it and knock the hole.
Don't let it get away from you.
Well, I've seen those videos where
If
they
it
get away
hits
from
away, it hits the ground, wrong way, was that fair?
Of course, I don't know anything about the process as far as the
I don't want to.
liquids, you know.
You
the-
better hold on
You
to it,
gotta
'cause it'll
strip
hit
it
that
first,
wall and
and
knock
you
the
gotta
hole out the
polish
wall.
it first, and
So that thing,
I
Don used to do it,
Does-
and he,
Was it Don the old preacher?
yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm not calling Don.
well, he's
He's
coming,
gonna be
he'll
here
be
in a
here
month, supposedly.
He'll be
Wait till
here
it gets
in-
here.
in a month.
Oh, Don, the
Next
preacher
month.
that didn't, that left, I don't know who the preacher that left that got kicked
Don
out.
Kay.
That was
No.
the-
That was,
Oh, okay.
that was Napoleon.
So we would put Don to work, no, you mean a Nazi was a Nazi?
Hitler,
Hitler, well, we don't think, I don't think we put Don to work when he gets here.
but he can
Yeah, he
show
could
you
probably
how to
find
do
it.
it. If, but I think they're
He was
right, I
here
think,
for 14 years,
Oh.
and he's the only one that ever.
I
ran.
see. So it hasn't been done since he left?
Nope,
Yeah, didn't, what's his name, the kid, lived down by you?
Jonathan,
No, what's his name? You know,
one with the little girl.
Let it go.
Josh,
oh, yeah,
Josh,
Josh.
yeah, I think
Did
he
do
ran
it?
it.
Yeah, he did one.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did one.
well,
He
probably
might
need
have
to,
Yes, but it doesn't look that great.
yeah.
Belle was her name, she
Well,
was
me and
a
Don
sweet
did it
little
that
girl.
one time, I took it, brought that wham side back,
She was
there,
a sweet
threw a
girl.
quarter off of it.
He had, I guess he had custody of it, didn't he, or,
Well,
No.
he had her 1 week, and then his wife had.
so they
her
were
2
co-custody.
Or he had her 2 weeks, and then
Whatever.
his ex had her.
She was here just about every Sunday though, wasn't she?
No,
About every other,
Every other thing.
yeah. Yeah, he had her every other week. Seemed like.
You know, I had a tire plug and I was just floored at how much it costs. So you think they put one of these in there and charge me $21?
I doubt it.
Because he was only out there for like 30 seconds.
Well, I'm gonna go and make sure Earl's all set
Yes,
and
ma'am.
in bed, make sure.
Thanks, Alan. Here.
Huh?
Thank you for gracing us
Thank
with
you
your
for your
presence.
presence.
Thanks for blessing
What was
us.
that? Did you ever watch